So it's a privilege and an honor to be invited to read Murli to you and the whole Halifax family. Baba's family is a family where each day the same Murli is for the whole world. So you feel so much at home with everyone, isn't it? We're all on the same board, the same page, the same mindset. And it's as if even though we don't know each other in terms of the physical, but the recognition of the knowledge Baba gives of the soul helps us to feel a belonging to us. And especially in the confluence age, when we recognize the power of the drama, of Baba, of us souls, then it's as if the impossible becomes possible. And so today's Murli is really about that, the consciousness of the soul. And how is it that I'm able to stabilize in that soul conscious stage? And what are the methods and tips Baba gives today? It's a lovely equation that always sticks, that when the work of removing consciousness of body is done, and I'm stable in the consciousness that I'm a soul, then remembering Baba as the Father and taking up that power in such a way that the sins in the soul for half the cycle begin to melt and merge and begin to emerge all the beautiful qualities and powers that are hidden within. And so, am I ready to enjoy that journey where I'm actually now at the end of the Kalpa and going home in such a way that Baba, the one who we've been looking for half the cycle, has come to take us back home together. And then, of course, am I ready to come into the golden age with this family? This is the family who's been remembering God for half the cycle. This is the family who God has been coaching at this time to be ready to serve the planet and earth in the golden age. So the Murli, and what's the intention behind the Murli? Why does Baba speak the Murli to us, the flute of knowledge? Baba speaks the Murli to us so that our intellect is strong enough to recognize who we are, who he is, and what's our part and role in this drama. And when I begin to recognize that, it's as if all the old labels that I'm comfortable with, the I and mine, drop away. And really coming from soul power, coming from the true, original, pure energy. And that will attract me back home. And then that will bring me back into the Sattva Pradhan stage and the Sattva Pradhan time, the beginning of the golden age. And so that's fulfilling Baba's purpose. Baba's task is to come and to really purify souls. That's how the world changes. And so am I ready to contribute towards that little corporation of the thought that, yes, Baba, I'm with you in this. So Baba's Murli helps us to fuel this intention, this purpose. So thank you so much, Sister Judy, and really Baba's children, but the Halifax family. And I'm seeing a vision of your 14 years, 14 months, and the tapasya you've been doing. I can see it. It's the perfect reflection of your energies are so bright. And what inspired me from your churnings was that really you catching the real meaning of what Baba wants us to do at this time. You know, I could hear that none of you had any lockicness tagged around you. So you can definitely from outside sense that someone is seeing that there is a big shift even in your vibrations. And that's the beauty of Baba's children, that their auras are so quiet, they're so bright, and so humble and sweet, but yet very powerful and very alert and active. They have this ability, and I can see that in all of you. So that's the speciality I'm catching from all of you. And I guess when so much effort is being made online, Murli class, Zoom, the morning and evening, we've been doing that very similarly for the family in Botswana. And they too have been together since last year, March. And similarly, they've been holding on to the Murli class on Google Meet in the morning and in the evening, having yoga bhattis 7 to 7:30. And I'm sure exquisite exchange and programs, many others that have been coming, they have taken it up so beautifully. So, you can see that the next line, when the daddies are not here, I was here in Madhuban for Daddy Gulzar leaving, and it was on her 12th day that we'd arrived. But it was a feeling in Madhuban that really things have changed. There is a change for the good, for the benefit of getting the family to go into a transition. So they are going into a transition, and all of us are seeing that change. But all in all, Baba, and the trust that the Jama and Baba are always going to do something benevolent is the feeling I'm catching. But definitely, what is the legacy that Shiv Baba leaves for us at this time is the awareness of soul. That is it. And so if I'm having the courage to let go of all the labels that are connected to the body and practicing that every day in small things, small things, I think the smallest efforts lead to the biggest results. Then we'll get there. And I like the word game also, just play it. I know Sister Judy, you're so good at these games and making Gyan so playful and fun, and yet you remember it and you can never forget it in your heart. So one is always going to be playful before they leave to the soul world, I feel, because Krishna is a child that is very playful. So coming into the first generation of the golden age, we all want to be there, right? Then let me create the sanskar of playfulness and divinity at the same time, but also having the courage. It is a courageous act, last act, being before going to the soul world. I really need to let go of all the strings of the mind. This is what I've been doing in Bharat at the moment, before the flights open up for Africa, which it hasn't yet. So I'm actually once stranded in the nomad land and doing a lot of honest checking and working on myself and creating a lot of change. I'm consciously making changes that I feel is going to align to the next stage. And Baba said once very beautifully, and also Daddy said before she left, I remember this, there was a question asked to Daddy in London, and there was a celebration at that time when she had arrived. And they were asking Daddy, what's going to happen next if you go, and what's going to happen when for the yagya, and etc. etc. Daddy said that when Baba left, there was that question. But don't worry, when the Daddies leave, it will be so beautiful. She promised us. It will be so beautiful what work we haven't done. Baba will make everything happen so fast and so beautifully. So it's like as if, the final moments of the confluence age, you see the beauty of the confluence age, yet the shedding of the old age very fast. And so the Brahmins will be revealed. The curtain will open and Shiv Baba revealed. So imagine how sparkling all of us will be. I feel that. And we'll forget the old issues that we'll be holding about each other. It'll be like a dream. We won't even see it because we're not in that. We'll be in the golden age at feel already stepping in there. And so that's my sense. We have to really have trust in that. And the next stage is to really polish up all the issues that are sitting inside. Just keep going little by little by little. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. And then we will coalesce. It will all coalesce, won't it? It's like drip by drip, drop by drop. It'll suddenly come together. It's nice to hear you saying that you can see the shine. And being away from Botswana, you're probably seeing it in them too, So that's pretty nice. What are things like in India there, Kanan?
Well, at the moment, I'm in Baroda, which is a city 2 hours away from Ahmedabad. And really at my Lokik's place, because Vedantiben had said, go and make them happy. They've been in in Baroda since lockdown, and no family member have visited them. So I'm finding myself very useful with them. They're really appreciating me. And the first time I've actually connected with them, and they're in Gyan since I was born. So really we're discovering our, blessings from Bap Dada. We're discovering our moments of happiness. It's quite interesting. It's very magical. And Baroda itself, the city is very clean now. I must say the pollution that I used to, feel and sense, the air is cleared, which is amazing. There used to be a lot of fumes, and that horrible smell of methane is gone, which is quite interesting. It's very clear air, less traffic because it's locked down in terms of there's only pharmacies and food stores and restaurants open and stores open, but the rest are all closed. Banks, little bit open, few open, but not all the time. And very, very little traffic, very little traffic. So India is very different at the moment. Very calm, very peaceful. It's not that big rush that you can see. And I've seen even in the Brahmins, they're all in tapasya, like the 12 main heads of Gujarat. They're doing 8 hours yoga together this week. So that's their effort. And you can see that the Brahmin family centers, news is that they have a lot of COVID cases within the centers. So they're very much powering up the bhattis inside. And for myself, I came from the Ahmedabad Mahadev Nagar Center, and I did have COVID. That's the reason I couldn't fly off. But I didn't have any symptoms. That was very interesting. I've had worse in the past. And it was 14 days locked in the room. But the wonderful, opportunity that presented to me was the family was so supportive. It was the best place to be, to have it. And the bhattis that had taken place after that, there were like 4 hours bhattis that were happening. And I just took part in that. And so for me, it's just been creating yoga power and helping through that. We can't do anything more than that. Centers don't have people coming in at the moment. So they're all online. And it's the first time they've actually discovered that there's really very little to do in terms of center activity. So they're breathing well. They're enjoying too. Their spirits are high, but of course, very alert. They're very alert.
Wonderful. That's great news. Thank you for that. I'm hearing Den's on mute, so that could be there's a question. No, it's not Den's. No. Okay.
But it's funny I didn't touch it, but I was thinking. I have this. I don't know. There's a sense that Brahma Baba is about to take birth soon, just with all the cleansing that's going on in India, because we know that Krishna is going to has to take place during the confluence at some point now, right? So it's interesting how the energy is, as you're saying, everything's quieter there, things are cleaner. So it makes it, for me, I had the sense that it's quite soon. It's very soon that it would make sense. It would be the cleanest it could possibly be at this time, and the cycle would be now during this confluence age.
There you go, Kanan. Yours to confirm or deny.
Well, it's, when we hear these things, when Krishna has been born, it's true. We can feel, well, I sense personally, this is my feeling since Madhuban, that really there's this huge committee in the subtle region, and they really are doing something together, which we have no idea. But all we know is definitely the golden age step that they're making, and whatever they're finalizing, they're planning in. We will get a touching to what we have to do and connect, I guess. Krishna, and yeah, anything can happen, because just imagine if you're inside indoor, then you have no idea what's happening outdoor. So there's not really, lots of people are not interested what's happening in the world, really. So there's so many changes that you can create now while people are not interested. So there's this feeling in India that the eyes are not there. So the eyes are not there means that Maya is not present. And your vision is pure. So even Lokik people are purifying their act if we see it. They really are. They have to. There's no choice for them. So all the dharnas that we've been following as Brahmins, they are following. They're becoming Brahmins indirectly. They have to. So we don't have much work left. They're going to do it. They're going to finish it for us, I feel. So Krishna can be born. Some people say